Time for another casting session. Going to be a solo cast this time. And I'm going to be casting 4 more games from Florencio, who never disappoints with the insanity of his games. So with that being said, as I've said many times before, if any of my viewers want to submit a game from ladder, please feel free to do so. Your best game, craziest game, whatever the case may be. I only request that if you do submit a game, submit, we'll say 2 to 3 maximum, with at least 1 loss mixed in there, so I don't know who wins. Like I said, so if you could submit 1 loss or 2 losses, 1 win, 2 wins, 1 loss, doesn't matter, but just have a mix of win and loss. And I will be happy to cast them and put them up here. Just fun for me to do. So, with that being said, let's get into the first game here. In the top right-hand corner of the map, we have the red Protoss, Big Mac. And his opponent in the bottom left, the blue Protoss, and I'm assuming that this is actually Florencio. I have not verified that. Obviously, one of these is his alternate account, but I'm pretty sure that this blue one here is Florencio. Anyway, going by the name of Donkey Cheese, it is the blue Protoss, bottom left-hand corner. I will be able to tell very shortly if this is in fact Florencio. I'm inclined to say yes. But interestingly enough, we actually have a forge going down for both players, both apparently looking to cannon rush the other. We have 2 probes being sent out for Big Mac. 1 for Florencio. And I'm going to, again, I'm assuming, and I'm going to call Donkey Cheese Florencio until I see otherwise. We've got a gas steal and a probe surround, killing one of their own. Not one of their own team, of course, but one of their own kind. First cannon goes down, and a defensive cannon goes down. So we have cannon rush versus rushed cannon defense. I don't think I've ever seen this before. I mean, granted, I haven't seen as many PvPs as I have other matchups, but I've watched and played a decent amount of PvPs anyway, so this is definitely a first for me. I don't know how one proceeds from here. Florencio's cannon finishes first, gets to work on the cannon of Big Mac. Big Mac tried to get high ground vision with his probe. Florencio quickly picks that off. And then is able to easily take down the aggressive cannon. Okay, I was in fact correct. This is Florencio, and if I didn't see that, I would have been able to guess from this soon-to-be ninja base that is coming down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Natural expansion taken by Big Mac. Still has a pylon outside of Florencio's base. Gateway, of course, already completed for both players. Double gas for Florencio. Still single gas here for Big Mac due to this gas steal. Was just about to say I'm surprised he isn't making a zealot just to get rid of that. He can actually afford to put 2, yeah, there we go. 2, and another one. He can actually afford to put 3 on here, really, because he's already past optimal saturation. I think, pretty sure it still works that you can go up to 24 workers before the workers start literally doing nothing. I believe that is the case. Anyway, Zealot is going to get to work. Natural expansion about to finish at almost exactly the same time as the ninja base, and here is Florencio's patented double Stargate. still have yet to see the tech choice from Big Mac, and he is a bit gas-starved. Therefore, he is double gassing, we'll call it. Taking double gas simultaneously, and I'm sure he's going to throw down his fourth gas as soon as this assimilator is removed. There it is. Double gas, of course, being taken by Florencio as well. He needs to get as much gas as possible to start producing off of the double starport. Classic Florencio, no warp gate. Who needs warp gate when you have Stargate, am I right? Stargate play coming down from Big Mac as well, though it is just a single Stargate. So I'm inclined to think that this is the worst possible choice for Big Mac. Not that I blame him, because he doesn't know about this. But he's going into the same tech path as Florencio, but he's going to have less of it. Looks like these two are kindred spirits. They both talk. There, and actually, there is the double Stargate. What do you know? It's going to be later than Florencio's, of course, but it's there. But yeah, I was about to say, these two are kindred spirits, going with nearly identical builds, really, this entire time, with the exception of a regular natural taken for Big Mac and the ninja natural taken for Florencio. We do have Void Rays for Florencio and Phoenixes for Big Mac. I actually don't know how that plays out prior to the Phoenix range upgrade. I really don't know. I guess I should know, but I don't. Again, not the most experienced in PvP. I'm fairly certain that once the Phoenixes get the range upgrade that they can deal with Void Rays. Somebody can correct me and make me feel stupid if they so choose. Perhaps I should know that. We both are on 2 base, that's for sure. Yeah, it is worth pointing out that there is very little known for each player about what the opponent is doing. Safety cannon in the mineral line for both players. This is actually crazy. Not at the ninja base here, but in the main base, and of course main base for Big Mac and natural for Big Mac as well. So we are going to have quite a few Phoenixes out here. It's looking like it's going to be just mass Phoenix, and naturally we're going to have mass Void Rays. I never get Expo in PvP, says Florencio. Probe coming across the map. Here we go. That's actually a crucial supply block with no pylons in production when it went down. Emergency pylons going down now. Base going down as well. And the recall before anything can be killed. That's just a vicious move from Florencio. Fortunately for Big Mac, he is taking his forward expansion. I believe he had just started that when the attack commenced at his natural, but still, that's quite a blow to his economy. With that being said, Florencio is only on 30 probes. I'm wondering if he's recalling here to eventually recall some probes over here to his ninja natural once he starts to mine out. I've seen him do that many times, but again, I'm not sure if that's why he recalled right now. We are not both on 2 base. Ooh boy, the trash talk is real. Now, of course, Florencio does not know about this base here. He can reasonably assume that the natural is being retaken. 3 cannons here, and we have what? Is it 6 Void Rays? Yes, 6 Void Rays. Of course, some Photon Overcharges are available. Big Mac still does not know about this ninja base. Actually hasn't even checked the natural, so he's just assuming that Florencio has a normal natural. If he knew anything about Florencio, he would never make that assumption. Trust me. So more Phoenixes on the way. Still no Fleet Beacon. Well, I mean, I guess he needs, what is it, Twilight Council? Is that the requirement for Fleet Beacon? Again, I should know this, but I don't. Admittedly, I have not made too many Fleet Beacons in my day. Probably just a handful of times. When I go PvP, I like to make Dark Templar, Oracles, and I like to get the games over with quickly. So, like I said, haven't made too many fleet beacons. There it is right there. There's the fleet beacon. So, is it not? Okay, so Twilight Council is not. So, I guess it's just... Is it just Cybernetics Core? Again, I should know this, but I don't. I'm going to learn, obviously, with this game. Take a look at the Structures tab. As the natural expansion falls... So, yeah, it must just be Stargate, not Cybernetics Core. So, just the Stargate requirement. Florencio does have a few Phoenixes mixed in here. Takes out the base and recalls again, leaving one... I don't know what that was. I think it was a Phoenix behind. Finally, Big Mac scouts this ninja base. There it is. It's all clicking now. I hope he takes a ninja base of his own. That would be perfect. Please do it. Take one up here. Phoenixes are going to come down, look to get some damage done, but I don't know if they can. I think it's no upgrades versus no upgrades. Indeed it is. We do have +1 attack roughly 3/4 of the way along for Big Mac. So that will start to put in work for him, but he still doesn't have a fleet beacon of his own. Even though his economy has been superior to Florencio's for quite some time now. And yes, he did lose his natural twice, but he's been ahead in probes for virtually the whole game. And again, even though he lost his natural twice, he has had this base up and running. So he's been at least on equal bases the entire time and has had a higher probe count, but he has not thrown down that fleet beacon. Florencio is making get real as we speak, bringing out the carriers, bringing out the mothership, bringing out the graviton catapult. So he is not messing around, not one bit. How long does this take? Wait, I guess we'll stay up here, yeah. Only 57 seconds. That's not very long at all for such a significant upgrade. If I recall correctly, it's relatively cheap, too. It's like 100 or something? I don't know, I can check later. Anyway, third base coming down now. Or natural being retaken, we could say, which will be the third base of Big Mac, and it looks like Florencio wants to grab his own. Phoenixes are going to scout about. They should be pathed to hit the natural of Florencio. Looks like that's where they're headed now. And we actually have virtually identical compositions with the exception of the carriers. And those carriers, of course, will be quite significant. So we've got the Void Ray Phoenix. But on the other side of the map, or so on one side we have, rather, the invisible Void Ray Phoenix plus carrier. And on this side of the map we have the very visible Void Ray Phoenix and even, I think, a Stalker. Yes, one Stalker. One Stalker who presumably has one job. Though I could not tell you what that is. I have no idea why he has one Stalker. Anyway, in comes the fleet, the Protoss fleet that is, the invisible Protoss fleet. Carrier's already starting to do serious work on the mineral line, and the mothership gets sniped. I think it was the Void Rays that got the mothership. Void Rays of Florencio are getting in deep. Take it out, Big Mac's Void Rays. Carriers are just going to town. They haven't been touched yet. First carrier does go down. Second one might be focused shortly. It actually survives. I think that's going to be it. GG is called. That was pretty crazy. I mean, they were virtually identical builds from start to finish, with, of course, the exception of the carriers being added in for Florencio and the mothership. I actually have no idea what the DPS on the mothership is like. I know it has an attack, but I really have no clue how fast it kills anything. Of course, the main reason for anyone to get the mothership is to cloak.